Why does great wealth exist alongside arrogance? This episode started with a simple question, but not a comfortable one. Why does great wealth sometimes exist alongside arrogance? Why do some people rise very fast only to become morally controversial later? And if God already knows the outcome, then what does wealth really mean? Is it approval? Is it a test? Or is it simply permission? For this episode, we did something deliberately limited. We asked the same foundational question to two different AI systems. One prompt, one attempt, no edits, no retries. The goal was not to judge a person, and it was not to defend a belief. The goal was to observe how thinking unfolds. The reference example used was a public figure often linked with wealth, confidence, and controversy. But this episode is not about him. He is simply a mirror. Let us begin with the first response. ChatGPT's line of reasoning. The first way of looking at this separates wealth from moral worth. In many religious and cultural traditions, material success is not treated as proof of virtue. Wealth often comes from talent, timing, systems, risk-taking, and sustained effort. In that sense, wealth is neutral. It is not handed out as a moral reward. It is produced by how the world works. Then comes a second framing, wealth as a test. And we know abundance can test character as much as hardship does. Money does not create traits. It amplifies them. Because money removes limits. It opens options. It reduces resistance. The same resources that can support generosity can also fuel ego, control, and excess. This is where the question about God usually enters. If God already knows the outcome, then why allow the wealth at all? Here, the difference is between knowing and causing. Knowing a choice in advance is not the same as forcing that choice. If free will matters, then later arrogance still belongs to the person. Permission to succeed is not permission to become reckless or cruel. Those are separate decisions made after success arrives. This leads to an important distinction. Approval versus permission. Wealth may simply mean that the path was possible within the rules of the world. It does not mean that the path was morally or spiritually endorsed. In many traditions, outcomes serve wider purposes. Lessons for the individual, warnings for others, and moments for society to question what it celebrates. In this view, wealth is neither proof of favor nor proof of corruption. It is a form of power, and power has a habit of revealing character. Grok's line of reasoning. The second response approaches the same question from a more system-level view. It starts with the balance between larger forces and human choice. Again, wealth is not framed as a reward or a punishment. It is described as a complex condition in human life, something that can come from effort, opportunity, or luck, without moral judgment attached. Just like the first response, wealth is described as a test of character. It does not create arrogance. It magnifies what already exists. Then comes the deeper layer. Knowing outcomes does not cancel choice. Seeing what happens does not make it happen. In this view, awareness exists outside of time, watching decisions without controlling them. Prosperity may arise because conditions allow it, but behavior that follows is still a personal choice. Here again, the approval versus permission difference appears. Wealth does not mean approval of actions. Approval would mean support for everything that follows. Permission simply means events are allowed to unfold within a system where actions still have consequences. Wealth shapes the situation a person is in. It does not decide the direction they take. Closing reflection. Both responses arrive at the same core insight. Wealth is not a moral verdict. It is a condition that expands choice, magnifies traits, and reveals character rather than assigning it. Where they differ is emphasis. One focuses more on power and consequences, the other focuses more on systems and choice. Neither treats success as proof of goodness. Neither treats arrogance as pre-written or inevitable. And that is the real point of this comparison. It is not about deciding who is right. It is about watching how thinking unfolds when systems are asked to think, not perform. We often say that power should come with responsibility. But real life shows us something more uncomfortable. Power arrives first, responsibility does not always follow. And that gap explains a lot about the world we are watching today.